What's going on, everybody? My name is the Immortal Phoenix, and we are going to be going over Chapter 22 of Boruto to the Vortex. We're going to be analyzing each scene and breaking down the chapter in great detail. So if you guys are interested in Boruto to the Vortex content, feel free to stick around till the very end, and let's go. The cover art for the cover page sets the tone. Boruto is at the front and center with radiant streaks of light behind him, and he's like the eye of the storm, which fittingly enough, the chapter is titled Jura, which the cover page could be telling us something about what's to come in the next few chapters, which I'm going to be talking about towards the end of the video. We open with Araya and Mitsuki holding the unconscious Sarada and Yodo after their intense fight with Ryu. Sarada pulled off a win by awakening her Mangekyō Sharingan and unleashing her new ability Ohirume, which absolutely crushed Ryu. Floating nearby is Ryu's Thorn Soul Bulb, catching the attention of both Araya and Mitsuki. Mitsuki decides to handle the surrounding Claw Grimes while telling Araya to take the bulb to Shinki and free him from his tree state. But something's off. Araya senses something strange in one of the Claw Grimes. Out of nowhere, a head starts emerging from the back of the Claw Grime. And then, bam, Jura himself comes crawling out. This catches both Araya and Mitsuki completely off guard. Mitsuki identifies him immediately. This is the leader of the Shinju, Jura. But instead of grabbing Ryu's Thorn Soul, Jura only gives Sarada a passing glance before shifting his attention somewhere elsewhere, towards where Boruto and Konohamaru are located. Even with Ryu's Thorn Soul Bulb right there, Jura ignores it. Instead, he locks onto Boruto, who recently sliced Matsuri into pieces with their Rasengan eye still intact. Konohamaru is stunned. Boruto was that fast. Boruto admits Matsuri was already weakened. If she weren't, it would have been a whole different battle. Her Thorn Soul begins forming. Then, a mini-tailed beast bomb whizzes by, missing Boruto by inches. He immediately senses Jora's present. Then Jura flies like a missile while Matsuri's Thorn Soul finishes forming and drops into Konohamaru's hands. Boruto tells him, "No time. Take Sarada and the others and get out of here." Konohamaru hesitates, but Boruto insists. Jura is charging a tailed beast bomb from his Rasengan. Boruto grabs Konohamaru and flies them both away just in time before the bomb detonates. As the dust settles, Boruto throws Konohamaru to safety. Konohamaru is shocked, not just at the attack, but at Boruto himself. Something's changed. Determined, Konohamaru takes off with the Thorn Soul. Meanwhile, Boruto ambushes Jura from behind with a Rasengan to the back. Jura counters by forming a Biju Bomb, but Boruto reacts using the Flying Raijin technique, then teleports away just before the impact. Boruto reappears near a marked shuriken, ready to strike again, but Jura blocks with a single finger, his middle finger to be exact. Then he calls the Flying Raijin impressive, but also a bad habit. He's still impressed. Fighting Boruto excites him. Elsewhere in the penthouse, Ada watches their Rasengan. Koji tells her Boruto's in serious danger, but Boruto can't teleport far away right now. His Flying Raijin requires him to sense the chakra in his marked objects, and the farther away they are, the harder it becomes. Koji pretty much lays out the situation. If Boruto runs, Jura will kill everyone and take both the Thorn Souls back and bring Matsuri and Ryu back to life. Boruto is buying time to help Konohamaru and the others escape. Jura knows Boruto is hiding something. He has too much intel on the Shinjus. He demands to know who Boruto's accomplice is, but Boruto stays silent. With Uzuhiko as his last resort, he prepares for the next move. Jura's curiosity spikes. He asks Boruto what is love, then he gives his answer. Love is weakness, a side effect that clouds intelligence. He mocks Boruto, saying that you came here knowing you had no chance of beating me, trying to save your friends. That love brought him here, to his death. Boruto continues to evade Jura's wood-release constructs flying at him and emerging from the stone pillars, and Boruto pretty much realizes that he can't plant his feet long enough to charge Uzuhiko properly until he realizes that he needs to be captured. Boruto gets caught, immobilized, and maybe even impaled. Jura walks towards the Kusanagi sword Boruto dropped. Boruto warns him, "Touch it and you will suffer a fate far worse than death." Jura pulls it out anyways. Another punishment through love, he says. Then offers Boruto a choice. Give up his accomplice or he'll defile the sword. Boruto doesn't flinch. Instead, the wind chakra begins spiraling. Boruto powers through the tree bindings using Rasengan Uzuhiko, declaring that's why Jura will always be just a tree. He blitzes behind Jura, drives the Rasengan into his back again and sending him flying. Jura flips and lands, but stumbles. His vision is spiraling. Boruto explains your sense of balance is shot. You won't be able to fly or stand up. Then, Jura calmly places his hand on his chest, and the spiraling energy dissipates. Uzuhiko didn't work. Jura says Boruto's technique mirrors the mechanics of the tailed beast bomb. That's how he was able to nullify it. In conclusion, this chapter is pretty insane, and it's going to get even more insane as, we get into chapters 23, 24, 25. I don't know if those will be like the chapters where, we'll see Borishiki come out. Maybe Boruto will acquire his Jogan, because one thing we do know is that Jura has pretty much tanked every single one of Boruto's attacks. From the base Rasengan to a weaker variant of the Rasengan Uzuhiko, which Boruto wasn't able to charge up because he needs to gather, I would say, a ample amount of planetary chakra in order for him to use a fully powered Rasengan Uzuhiko, like the one we've seen where he pretty much charged up his Rasengan Uzuhiko to a good degree and he was able to utterly eviscerate Hidari. We know that a base Rasengan can damage Hidari, and we've seen Konohamaru use a double Odama Rasengan on Matsuri and it shredded her as well. So there could be a chance that the same could happen to Bug, but it didn't really happen to Jura because Jura's been taking every single one of Boruto's attacks. And even the Rasengan Uzuhiko didn't work because it seems like that there's also principles that are tied to the tail beast bomb, as in their principles are the same, and I want to kind of talk about that as well. Now granted, Boruto did use a weaker variant of the Rasengan Uzuhiko, which is the same Rasengan Uzuhiko that he used to debilitate Code to get information out of him on the whereabouts of the Ten Tails. I do feel like that Boruto was trying to kill Jura in this instance because he was trying to let the Coriolis effect, play itself out and pretty much, have Jura just spinning out of control until he dies, but that didn't work. Now, getting back to how the principles of the Rasengan Uzuhiko is similar to the principles of the tailed beast bomb, I end up realizing that when I did my research, both draw from the planet's chakra and it's used in different destructive forms. So pretty much the tailed beast bomb originates from the Ten Tails. And the Ten Tails is pretty much a seedling that once is fed to an Otsutsuki is not only able to be planted into the earth, but grows into a god tree and absorbs all the life data, genetic information, and chakra from the planet. Similar to how the Rasengan Uzuhiko is pretty much inspired by the Spirit Bomb, and the user needs to have both feet planted into the ground to gather energy from the planet to create something extremely powerful, deadly, and destructive. So in that regards, the reason why Jura was able to nullify it is because the Rasengan Uzuhiko synchronizes with the planet's chakra, and him being the incarnation of the Ten Tails would automatically have an innate understanding of the, not just the principles, but how the jutsu is applied and where it originated from, because as the Ten Tails, he would have an innate connection to the life essence of the planet. So what I pretty much got from all this is the reason why Jura said that the Rasengan Uzuhiko and the Biju bombs follow similar principles is because they both are deadly manifestations of planetary chakra, just in different ways. One is through a blast and one is through relentless rotation. One pretty much incorporates the planet's chakra and rotational force, while the other pretty much combines the fundamental life forces of the planet through yin and yang chakra. That's what I got from all this. Take it as you will, because I believe that is the reason why Jura was able to, recognize this, because once Boruto was hit with the Rasengan Uzuhiko, not only was he able to dispel the jutsu, but I believe he also adapted to it as well. That could be the reason for his statement. Now, I would mention the Thorn Souls and how, Oriya, Mitsuki, and Konohamaru, they're probably going to get it back to Moege and Shinki, but depending on how the fight between Boruto and Jura goes, I'm starting to think that it could be less likely, and that Boruto is going to need some sort of hidden power up to come out at some given point, or whether he's going to need to rely on the karma to help him get out of the situation. But that's completely dependent on how Ikimoto approaches the fight in the next chapter. But overall, I'm pretty excited about it, and I really want to see what happens next chapter. So yeah, this is the Immortal Phoenix, and I'm signing right now. If you guys have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section down below. Also, while you're here, please feel free to like the video, subscribe to the page, and ring that notification bell icon. But more importantly, please like the video and subscribe. Also, I'm aware that the sneak peek page for chapter 23 just dropped. I've seen it, but I'm gonna save my breakdown for Monday, so stay tuned for that. And let me know what your thoughts are on chapter 22 in the meantime.